Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Early morning crypto talk. Bitcoin Brandon here. We're going to get started in just a second. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Jason, Elizabeth, Anthony. My fools, I'm glad you liked that Facebook Live. That was probably one of the most important ones I did if you're an American citizen. I listened to it again last night as well. Good morning, Shane. Wednesday, week's halfway over. The month is almost over. Good morning, Barbara. Pre-launch, right around the corner. Time to get educated and time to get paid. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, and share some suggestions, and it's up to you to make a decision on what to do with that. Follow my 4 rules and you'll have success. Number 1, education. Number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Number 3, always get your return on investment, ROI. Always. Don't get greedy. And number 4, have a game plan. Where do you see yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? Have a plan of action. Stay focused. Don't get distracted. You have limited resources. And if you follow this plan, you will limit your risk and have a successful time in the crypto space. What's going on, Mr. Gutierrez? Lashana, Bonita, Deborah from Seattle. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start in here this is for you crypto traders out there. And the title of this is called New Tools Help Crypto Traders Make Smarter Decisions. And if you missed my Facebook Live last night, I strongly encourage you. Give me a second. I got the gardener right out my door here. Like right when I'm about to talk, gardener wants to be right underneath me. If you missed my Facebook Live last night, go back and listen to it. That was the most important one I've done of the year, especially if you're an American citizen. Very, very important. All right, so let me put this new topic in the chat box. Good morning, Zora. Good morning, Eldridge. All right, this is titled New Tools to Help Crypto Traders Make Smarter Decisions. So if you're not a crypto trader and this goes over your head, no, don't worry about it. At least you're getting yourself exposed to new stuff, new terms and technology. If knowledge is power, and it is, today's traders are stronger than they've ever been. The range and function of analytical tools is improving by the day, presenting investors with a smorgasbord of options. Sites such as OChainFX are continually adding new features, empowering traders to make more informed decisions based on more data sets. From technical analysis to fundamental analysis, the best traders leave no stone unturned in their quest to find hidden gems. Low market cap coins with a solid development team, tokenized projects with the potential to grow 10 times, altcoins that have been unfairly pummeled and are due for a rebound. All this and much more can now be gleaned in little more than a few clicks. There's no need to connect to APIs and painstakingly perfect spreadsheet formulas for the best online toolkits to do it all. OnChainFX is the jumping off point for many researchers. I have not heard of this one, so I am going to put a link to this in the chat box. Ooh, I like this. Crypto asset rankings and metrics. This This is far more detailed than CoinMarketCap. All right, I'll make sure I save this one. So let me put this in the chat box. On-chain FX. Okay, on-chain FX is the jumping off point for many researchers. Altcoin information such as 24-hour transaction volume, number of transactions per day, NVT ratio, fees, and short-term ROI. Ooh, I like that. Can all be viewed by enabling the appropriate checkbox in the right-hand margin. You can then click on a column to filter results based on the metric you'd like to measure. This week, On-Chain FX upped its analytics game by adding data for GitHub repos. It's possible to filter coins based on the number of GitHub stars, watchers, commits, lines added, and lines removed. Now, lazy altcoin devs have nowhere to hide. Previously, the only place where this information could easily be compared was on Cryptomizo. I have heard of them. According to On-Chain FX, the busiest crypto project over the last 90 days has been Lisk, followed by Tron and EOS. The less said about Dogecoin's GitHub activity, the better. For anyone who places a lot of weight on GitHub ratings, Darpaul Ratings delves into these in much greater detail. Darpaul, let me look at that website. Let's see, Darpaul, we went through 139, 3 projects. This is, okay, no, not interested in that one. All right, let's see here. Livecoin Watch is another up-and-coming site making data sexy. Oh, you use the word sexy, so I'm going to open you up. Get my attention by doing that. Let's see. Livecoin Watch. Kind of looks just like On-Chain FX, just not as detailed. A little bit more like CoinMarketCap. Kind of basic to me. I'll keep it saved there. We'll see. I'll put a link to this one in the chat box. And again, these are tools for you to use. Okay. The best thing about the cryptocurrency tracker is its customizable layout. Oh, okay. At the toggle of a button, you can view which coins are down the most % from their ATH. Combine that with data on a coin's GitHub activity or price based on BTC normalized supply. Say you've got a ready reckoner for which alts are unfairly cheap. For more serious traders who thrive on log charts and rolling correlations of daily returns, coinmetrics.io is the only tool that counts. Okay, let me open that one up. Coinmetrics. Let's see, what do you got here on this site? Charts, rolling correlations, it's kind of bland to me. I'll fall asleep looking at this. I'm not going to use that. But I will put in the chat box for those of you who like boring data. You can use that one. But I'm deleting it. Of course, the next sentence. It's not the easiest platform to master, but the knowledge it bestows upon those diligent enough to put in the time can make the toil worthwhile. I do not have the time. That's not me. I'm not going to be looking at charts all doggone day. Even the simpler charts Coinmetrics cooks up, such as a retrospective of the times Bitcoin's RSI exceeded 75, are fascinating. After the fact, all sorts of patterns become clear, showing when markets were blatantly overbought or oversold. That would be a good way to see if the coin's going through a pump and dump. Discerning that at the time, though, and using it to guide future trading decisions is harder than it sounds. In the current market conditions, altcoin trading is a hazardous pastime. But as news.bitcoin.com noted in last week's podcast and Sunday roundup, it's a great time for building and learning. The tools you add to your arsenal now will prove invaluable when the time comes to intrepidly venture into the altcoin markets once more. All right, that's a cool little website. little article. Let's go on to international news. And I find this interesting too. I've been reporting since January about Venezuela creating their own altcoin called the Petro coin, backed by Venezuela's oil barrels. And I said that he was following suit with Vladimir Putin's desire to create the ruble coin. But interestingly, and not surprising, this article says that Vladimir Putin aided Maduro, that's president of Venezuela, in creating the crypto. Now, yesterday, reported that Donald Trump stuck his head out of the sand to speak on crypto and made a ban on anybody in the United States or our allies engaging in purchasing the Venezuelan Petro. Now, this looks very clear. I haven't even read the article yet, but Vladimir Putin used Venezuela as a test dummy to see how the West would react, because he's coming up with the ruble coin. That's supposed to happen in June. So he's watching how the world's going to react to Venezuela, and he'll make adjustments to this. So a report claims Putin aided Maduro in creating the Petro. A Time investigation into the development of Venezuela's state-backed cryptocurrency Petro revealed strong anecdotal and circumstantial evidence connecting Russia to its launch. At least 2 Russians with ties to Vladimir Putin were present at Petro's unveiling, complete with the Venezuelan president's thanks. What the heck? Everybody's thanking Putin lately, huh? Is Putin leader of the free world now? Why is everybody thanking him and congratulating him? Dictators rule the day now, huh? Let's see. Analysts are claiming the South American country is Mr. Putin's crypto guinea pig, isn't that what I said? As the 2 nations try to find innovative ways around U.S. sanctions. I guess I've been just speaking out of my you-know-what all this time. Time Online is referring to Tuesday's official sale of Petro as a half-hidden joint venture between Venezuelan and Russian officials and businessmen whose aim was to erode the power of U.S. sanctions, finding Moscow's fingerprints all over the creation of the Petro. Okay, let me stop right there. Let's use common sense here. Russia wants to get away from U.S. sanctions. Iran wants to get away from U.S. sanctions. North Korea wants to get away from U.S. sanctions. China wants to get away from U.S. dominance, meaning the U.S. dollar. They all have their what do they call it? I don't remember the name, good grief. Passive Indo region, whatever, between like 6 countries over there in the Asian peninsula. And Russia's one of them, including Persia with Iran. And they're saying that they can survive without using the U.S. dollar, without needing the United States, and they can do so by using cryptocurrency. If they all agree to it, that they can do their own buy and sell of oil without U.S. dollars. Do you know how huge that is? Venezuela, oil-rich country. The president creating their own petrodollar that's backed by their oil. And then you got Russia involved. So you've got oil, dictators, and their own crypto coin. All to avoid U.S. sanctions. This shouldn't seem as a shock. She has been seen as a pattern. So let's continue. Let's see here. Such revelations come at an interesting time for all 3 countries. In the U.S., the present administration has been accused of being too close to re-elected Russian President Putin. That's true. Mr. Putin is under international pressure for alleged acts of assassination on foreign shores. Do you guys realize that that is an act of war? You're doing assassinations on foreign soil? That's war. Can you imagine that if that happened under the Reagan administration? Our ally was under attack like that? What are we doing about it? Let me not get off track here. Alleged acts of assassination on foreign shores, along with meddling in elections abroad. Venezuela has long been a client state of Russia and has equally been the object of scorn for several U.S. administrations. The three were tied together somewhat unknowingly, on the U.S. side at least, by President Trump's recent executive order forbidding formal participation in the Petro. You know, Trump's got to be careful with that one, because that's almost saying we're going to have an executive order forbidding another nation's currency. And this can be a slippery slope, because what happens when the United States comes out with the Fed coin and then Russia or China says, you know, we don't want to recognize the Fed coin. In fact, we're going to put a ban on the Fed coin. You don't want to set this precedent here. So this is uncharted territory. This will be interesting to see what happens as it plays out. And truth be told, it is Russia who would rather tread lightly at this point. Indeed, as Mr. Putin's economic advisor Igor Shuvalov explained, for Russia, it's too dangerous. If we say that the only reason we do it is to avoid U.S. sanctions, then the United States is definitely going to be displeased about it. Venezuela has nothing to lose. For them, it's the only choice. It's their only chance. The Venezuelan economy is the daily subject of press accounts documenting economic horrors. That's true. So it might have seemed somewhat brazen to have no fewer than 2 Russian nationals connected front and center at Petro's media scrum launch last month. Denis Druskov and Fyodor Bogorovsky were thanked publicly by Mr. Maduro. Again, we've got politicians thanking the Russians. It's blowing my mind. Thanking and congratulating them. And Mr. Bogorovsky stands at the 1 hour and 8 minute mark to give a congratulatory speech in Russian. Here we go again. Should we name Putin president of the world? Covering tracks on a gamble. The 2 men were initially identified as representatives of a shadowy company, Aero Trading, which claims, wait a minute, where have I heard that name? That name came up in one of the Facebook Lives I did when I was talking about this. So now we see that that company is actually owned by the Russians. Which claims blockchain specialty. Within days of the presser, presumably to establish the company's legitimacy, a sudden website and Twitter account were set up. Of the 2 men, Mr. Bogorovsky was the only to comment publicly. Mr. Druskov is well connected to a Russian billionaire, while Mr. Bogorovsky is a former banking executive living in South America. The report describes him as having close business ties with Russia and other former Soviet states. It appears he's been involved with Petro since its inception late last year. Mr. Bogorovsky stresses, Russia has been moving in this direction for a while now, trying to draft laws to regulate cryptocurrencies. Venezuela's pace has evidently been much quicker, obviously. Dismissing potential U.S. concerns, he laughs, any citizen of the world can do what he wants. We offer freedom of choice. What? So I think will be lots of investors, big and small, from all over the world. It's like you got the communists acting like a democracy. We want our citizens to have freedom of choice. Since when? That's not how communism works. Interesting. According to an anonymous executive at a Russian state bank who deals with cryptocurrencies, senior advisor to the Kremlin have overseen the effort in Venezuela And President Vladimir Putin signed off on it last year. People close to Putin, they told him this is how to avoid the sanctions. I've been saying this for 6 months. And it's fascinating to watch this play out. This is how the whole thing started, the report explained. Russia is insisting it had nothing to do with the Petro's creation, of course. State apparatus, on the other hand, have made plenty of statements about U.S. financial sanctions. The head of Russia's second largest bank, VTB, Andrei Kostin, spoke openly recently about how the reign of the dollar must end. This whip that the Americans can use in the form of the dollar, this whip, would then, to a great extent, not have such a serious impact on the global financial system. Stop right there. Okay, I have to reiterate what I've been saying for 6 months. The United States has had global power for the last 70 years for 2 reasons. The first reason is what we like to call diplomacy, meaning if you are acting out, and I mean another nation, and doing things that's not for American interest, America will settle it with diplomacy, meaning if you don't do what we say, we will drop sanctions on you and cripple your economy. Basically, it's bribery, what we do. If you do what we say, we'll give you some economic benefits. We'll give you some, extra business deals and stuff. We'll reward you for following and towing the American line. If that does not work, America will fall on our number 2, which is we have the biggest, baddest military the planet has ever seen. So if we don't drop sanctions, we'll drop bombs. Which one do you want? So Russia knows they can't go toe-to-toe with us on number 2. But they can attack us on number 1 by marginalizing the US dollar, by eliminating the sting of sanctions. So if you go after that by attacking us digitally, by beating us in this new industrial revolution called blockchain technology, by leading the way while America doesn't even know what's going on. I mean, Putin ain't even hiding this fact. He has said it multiple times publicly. We don't want Washington to run the world anymore. America's only 241 years old and a half. 241 and a half years old. Our nations are ancient. It's time for us to rise again. That is their manifest destiny. So how do you take down the United States? And as an American, it is important that you put yourself in the mind of the enemy so that you know how to defend ourselves and how to prepare for it. That's one thing Americans don't do. We view the world through our own eyes, through our own prejudices. And that's to our own detriment when we can't empathize and understand why the others are doing what they do. It's a game of chess that's being played right now. And on the world stage, there's one man that's winning this game right now. And his name is not Donald Trump. His name is Vladimir Putin. He is winning on all aspects. And as an American, it is sick to say that. And we're watching this play out. And there's 2 things that he has said that I agree with. There's number 1, what he said. The Stone Age did not end due to lack of stones. It ended because better technology presented itself. See, today, America owns all the stones. There's no lack of stones, but better technology is here. Now, America can pick up the ball and run with it since we're in the best position to do so. Or we can be Blockbuster and dismiss Netflix. or Toys R Us and dismiss Amazon and go the way of the dinosaur. Because the second thing Putin also said was, whatever nation is the first to master this new technology, they will become the new world power. And other nations that are slow to act will be under the thumb of the nation that does. That is why I was so excited last night when I did the Facebook Live talking about what the U.S. Congress, their approach, what they advise their approach to crypto should be. We want to be leading the way. 50% of Americans have been exposed to cryptocurrency. 8% own cryptocurrency. 0.5% even understand the technology behind it and what it is. This is the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. The only problem is most people don't even know it's there. They don't even know it exists. They don't even know the game is being played. So how can you win the game if you don't even know it's being played? That is why we're launching freaking Genex. We want to bring education to the masses. Forget about, how much money am I going to make? 1% a day? 2% a day? No. You need education. The money will come. I made a small fortune because of education first. The education allowed me to put it this way. $100 in a fool's hand and $100 in an educated man's hand. What's the difference? It's the same $100. But the educated man can turn it into a fortune, while the fool might try to put it down for some Jordans. Or throw it into some crap ICO that they didn't know how to research. Education, the money will come. That's what Genex is all about. The other important statement, and I was excited that Congress admitted this last night, is that blockchain technology will revolutionize the way the world operates in the future. Congress said that. I put it this way. Blockchain technology is the greatest invention since the internet. It will have the biggest impact on the world since agriculture. It will disrupt every single major economy on the planet. Every economy. Yes, even the sex industry. I covered that one extensively. Waiting for another sex article to come out. Like I said, the moment strippers and prostitutes start accepting crypto as payment, you better believe it is real money. This ain't going anywhere. Now, instead of waiting for the government to save all of us, each and every one of you has it within your own power to be prepared for this new world. You do. Right now. This education, as far as I am concerned, and this is my opinion, and only time will tell if I'm correct on this opinion. But if you are not versed in cryptocurrency, in this new technology, in this new world, you will not make it for the rest of this century. You will not be able to survive. It is that important. It is that disruptive. You must. I'm making my kids, they will be masters at this. My 10-year-old son, he spends the most time with me because he's in my office playing or doing his homework, and he's listening to every time I do a late night crypto talk, he's there. Every time I'm doing my calls, my presentations, he's there. He's hearing every word I say. He knows Bitcoin. He knows this stuff. That's more valuable than the college education that he will be getting. Yeah, in my household, you will be getting a college education. Even though I know it's bogus, you're going to get that degree. But we're currently preparing our kids to graduate for a world that is not going to be even invented yet. Their college degree is obsolete unless you're going in to be a doctor or something. You need to learn the crypto skill set. It's a 6, 7, and 8-figure skill set that will allow you to maneuver through this space financially in the future. And it's coming whether you like it or not, whether you like me or not, whether you believe in it or not, whether you understand it or not. I really don't care. I know what we're doing and what we're going to offer everybody to do as well. So thank you for joining. That's all I had to share this morning. I got a lot of work to do. We've got pre-launch coming up very soon. We got pre-launch coming up. Mark my words. This will be the biggest noise of 2018. Mark my words. Either you're going to be a part of it, or you're going to hear about it and watch it. We are launching in 26 that's been upped. 31 languages. Not just a video on a presentation or a Google translator. We're talking all of our education materials is going to be in those languages. 31. We have leaders in place worldwide. I'll be in London next month and Sweden. We have a huge event happening in Houston, Texas next month as well. I can't wait. I can't wait. So thank you guys for listening. I'll see you all tonight. Late Night Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon out. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.
Crypto Genex.